Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Take your pick, depending on when you are watching this. We would like to share some information with you concerning Newman, Alabama's return to work procedures. We will be covering two of the most asked questions we are receiving. First question is, when will we return to work? Well, this is kind of a two-part answer. As we know, this is a very volatile time we are in. Our return to work timing depends on several constraints. One is our customer orders. When they place orders, we will need to fulfill them, but at this time, the order quantities are not clear to us. We also need to be careful of any state mandates limiting the public's movement. And most important, we must ensure our associates and our associates' families' safety. At this time, it appears to be a soft start on May 4th for Toyota production and May 13th for Honda's production. But again, this is an ever-changing target, so please make sure you continue to stay informed from the Newman Technology of Alabama's social media sites. This soft start will entail a limited production demand, which will allow us to bring our associates back in steps or waves. HR will be contacting the associates for the exact start time and start date, so please make sure HR has your most up-to-date information. They will be calling you. Again, this subject will change depending on the criteria as mentioned before. We hope to be back in full production within a week of that soft start. Question number two, what is Newman doing to reduce the possibility of me getting infected? Well, we've been working and we will continue to modify the policies and procedures in regard to this. HR has constructed two handouts that will help communicate these changes. Handout number one is a brochure that was sent out on 4/22. That explains some of our guidelines. Please read this when it arrives by mail and understand how the guidelines may affect you at work. The number two handout is an extremely detailed booklet that outlines many new ways of life that the associate will need to follow upon returning to work. Some of these changes will include social distancing guidelines, including changes to the production floor in order to reduce the transmission of any virus, not just C-19. Schedule changes, so the start and the end of the shift, the breaks, the lunches, will those all be adjusted to try to limit the amount of people getting in each other's area. Associate travel to and from restrooms in the cafe. We have to make sure that we follow the social distancing guidelines there. The cafe's capacity will also be limited to a certain number. We have rearranged the cafeteria to make sure people don't cross each other while they're in there. Also, the associates' means of egress in and out of the line to get to and from the cafeteria and the break rooms and restrooms. The 6-foot rules will be in place, including in the office area and the machine working areas. The operators will also be adjusted to be in the 6-foot range. Barrier guarding will be installed if we cannot adhere to those 6-foot guidelines. There are many more changes that we have made, and we will continue to make more if it is needed and identified. One very important item we have to talk about. We must have the associates' cooperation with any and all potential infections. Any sign of or possible exposure to someone must be reported to HR. These guidelines are outlined in the book I spoke of a little earlier. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to try to help further the limit of spread of infectious diseases. If you need any help, please contact our HR department. Thank you for your time, and let's be safe.